welcome. My name is Chris from christopherhole.com and welcome to this video where we're going to be looking at how to optimize the squat, the deadlift and or the swing. Now we are only going to be talking about one small part of these exercises, but it's a crucial part because it's the part at the beginning. It's how we set ourselves up. And what we're going to be talking about mostly is the fascia. Now back in the 1940s, the idea came that muscles do the lifting. Well, it probably came before that, but that's when we started looking at a lot of the science behind it, so on and so forth. So it started out as muscles do the lifting. Then what they were able to find out was the spinal erectors can only cope with 50 kilos of weight to be able to lift. Now that doesn't mean the erector spinae muscles or the spinal erectors are lifting the weight, but they are certainly a part of the lift. As time went on, more research was being done. They found out this thing called intra-abdominal pressure. But again, it wasn't quite enough to be lifting, you know, the 200, the 300 kilos that people are lifting, for instance. So what then came about, and people have been looking at this in the 1970s, 80s, 90s, and even today, and you know, still certain parts of the industry are still sort of stuck in the muscles do the lifting idea, which is now becoming, you know, quite old-fashioned, quite outdated. And there's this new model now where we're starting to talk a lot more about fascia. Now, obviously, fascia goes from head to toe. We're just going to be looking at the thoracolumbar fascia. Now, the thoracolumbar fascia is this big sort of, well, the main part of it anyway, is this big white sheath here. You can see it sort of all the way from the thoracic spine all the way down into the pelvis. So it covers quite a large part of the body. Now, what they did find to start with is that it transmits forces, or it helps transmit forces. So muscles, you know, generate force, and the fascia was able to transmit it. What it also does, which is a little bit newer, was minimize stress and allows the muscles to function optimally. And we're going to talk more about the muscles functioning optimally on the next couple of slides, because there's a like a seesaw effect going on between muscles and fascia, and that's what we're going to look at in the next two slides. But for now, all we need to know is that muscles do the lifting. Of course, that's true. But what we have to understand that there's a lot more to it, and there's this new model that includes fascia. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll click through to the next slide, and then we'll talk more.